fit. You guys are the experts.
Where?
All right.
We'll use that term loosely.
You are the experts. We're only doing offensive players. So it's a woulda, coulda, what if game, right? So we're talking about best fits. Up first for us is Dez Bryant. We obviously know that they slapped that franchise tag on him. But Kate, where could you see Dez Bryant? What would be the best fit for him?
I actually see the best fit as the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's got a great relationship with Tony Romo. This is a QB who behind the scenes is talking to Jerry Jones and saying, you got to bring this guy back. He's also saying you got to bring DeMarco Murray back, but he wants his guys back. This is a QB and a wide receiver who have great chemistry on the field, who combine for big yards, TDs. They're one play away from getting to the NFC title game. That one play against the Green Bay Packers, I say he comes back to the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's the best fit for this guy.
Oh, you're no fun, Kate. Have a little fun.
Later, I got this.
Have a little fun here. Dez Bryant going to Miami Dolphins because they're not happy with Mike Wallace because he has not been the #1 receiver.
Okay.
Imagine you bring that guy there. He'll be like a Pied Piper for players that will want to play in Miami. So of course he'll be able to focus.
He's in Miami.
He can focus in Dallas. Have you seen Dallas lately? He can focus in Dallas.
Versus Dallas. I don't know.
He'll put it this way. He'll have plenty of time to go to the beach when he's catching about 90 to 95 balls. Ryan Tannehill continues to improve as a quarterback with the Miami Dolphins. I like what they're doing down there. They got to stop losing to the Jets at the last game of the season all the time. Dez Bryant in Miami because Mike Wallace is not that #1 receiver. You got rid of Brian Hartline. He'll get plenty of catches. Charles Clay, an underrated tight end.
You just became Dez's best friend, just so you know.
Yeah, right.
I like what that man is saying.
Jerry Jones is worse than him. Let's put it that way.
Play there.
All right.
I'm with Kate. I think the Cowboys, there's no way they'll let him go. But I want to have some fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to spread him around.
Yeah.
I could see him at the Oakland Raiders. I could see him as a Raider. Yeah, in the silver and black. They've got a young quarterback who showed some promise last year in Derek Carr. If he had a playmaker like this, I mean, I think Dez Bryant is one of the types of receivers that can make a quarterback. And you don't see that happen too many times, but he is that quality of a player where he can instantly give a player like that confidence, where a guy can come to him. And I think the one thing that the Raiders have that a lot of people don't is they have a deep treasure chest. They can spend it. They've got a lot of money to spend. They could go out and do it. But I don't think he ends up.
But that's a good fit because they have that rough and regular.
Yes, exactly.
Dez is.
Derek Carr's a pretty good quarterback.
And I call him the DMX. Like he barks, but it's a good bark. Like it's like get up here and let's do it. So that's a good fit. I could see it.
See?
All right. So
Well, he's in Oakland. You know he's not going to be too short in Oakland. Let's put it that way.
All right. So let's take a look of what you all say. Best fits. Here we go. We got Kate saying he's a Cowboy. Danny saying he's going to the Raiders, and Freddie the Dolphins.
He looks so happy that Dolphins uniform.
What about wait, no, seriously, what uniform looks best? Seriously, guys.
The silver and black.
Oh,
No,
Cowboys fans are so mad right now.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so he's good Cowboys.
In the Miami uniform.
You know what? I don't know. I'm going up the X for Miami.
There you go.
I see you there.
Welcome
All right,
to my world.
Next up for us is DeMarco Murray. So obviously a tag for Dez means DeMarco, you know, he may be left out. They do expect him to test the free agency market. And he's, you know what, he's one of the best backs in the league right now. So, Kate, where do you see him?
All right, so this is a guy who, like you said, wants to test the market. He wants to see what his value is. Also, I think he kind of wants to be wanted. All right, he's got a chip on his shoulder that a lot of people are saying he's playing behind the best O-line. Therefore, maybe he's not as good as his numbers say he is. Now, what team out there desperately needs a running game? The Colts.
Yes.
A lot of suspense there. They're going to be willing to pay for this guy, maybe pay a little bit more than what the Dallas Cowboys are willing to pay. They had no 100-yard rushers last year. They had one game where they had 1 yard, but they have the #1 passing offense. So he goes there, proves his worth, opens up even more for Andrew Luck, and makes the Colts a legitimate contender.
Without question, because if I'm the Indianapolis Colts, there's no way I'm not backing up the Brinks truck for DeMarco Murray, because Andrew Luck was able to put up these kind of numbers, and he was the best running back on the football team at times with the Indianapolis Colts. You had DeMarco Murray and Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator. They run the same kind of system at Stanford when Andrew Luck was there. They want to pound the football, pound the rock. Now you got a guy who, I know that offensive line is not even close to the Cowboys' offensive line, but Andrew Luck has this wonderful ability that guys play better and play above their heads when they're around him. You know, to Kate's point, you don't think DeMarco Murray is not going to want to prove to people, hey, Dallas should have signed me. We were in a great position. You don't want me. Now I get a chance to be with this guy, Andrew Luck. The Colts make the
Tell me you got
sense.
something different. Something exciting. Something fun.
I don't. See, we need to be his agent then and just go to the Colts, because I had the same too, and they did not ask us, just so everybody knows. Like the producer said, who do you guys think you should go to? We all are in agreement. Think you should go to the Colts. 22nd rush game in the NFL. They need the help there. Andrew Luck, go back and look at Peyton Manning, what he had early in his career. Strong running game behind him. You put that in combination with Luck and the offensive line, which is growing. They need some work too.
Absolutely.
But they need to focus on the run game, because even though the NFL is still geared to the pass game, you still have to be able to get it done physically on the ground.
I'm so disappointed.
Put him on the Colts.
Why?
So, because I thought someone would say, okay, guess
I know,
what?
right?
Marshawn Lynch might retire, and
He's not going to
Seattle.
and
That would be a good one.
he go to the Seahawks. Like that would be
that up
fun.
there then,
All right.
That makes a lot of sense. They're not doing that.
All right, so what do we have? Reveal, please. He
There we
is
go.
clearly
Done.
done.
Good.
Lock
It's a
it in.
wrap.
That's it.
Deal's done, right? Okay.
5 years, 40 million.
If you are what'd you say?
5 years, 40 million.
5 years,
That's what I
40
want. No
million.
more than
Nice. He likes what you're saying. Next up for us, we'll go with Peyton's favorite target, shall we? Demaryius Thomas. Thomas slapped with a franchise tag. Broncos are confident they can keep him long term. Thomas is coming off of career highs in both receptions and receiving yards. So, Danny, where's the best fit for him?
All right, so I've got him going to a team that's been on the cusp. They've been close to the Super Bowl, but they have this obstacle that they can't get over. That obstacle is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
What do the Seahawks have? They have big physical corners. What do the San Francisco 49ers need? A big physical wide receiver that could go head-to-head with Richard Sherman in that secondary that's so big and physical. I think it'd be a great fit for Colin Kaepernick to have that go-to threat. You watching his highlights, you forget some of the plays that he made. Yeah, it's a lot of people give Peyton Manning a lot of the credit. I would be real curious to see how Peyton does without Demaryius Thomas, but I'd love to see him on the 49ers. Anquan Bolden, Crabtree's free agent, so perfect landing spot for him.
All right.
Well, if I'm taking Dez Bryant away from the Cowboys, I need to replace him.
Oh!
I'm replacing him with Demaryius Thomas, because a big physical receiver and get down the field. To Danny's point about I want to know how good Peyton Manning would be without this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Tony Romo wants to find out how good he has to be if he doesn't have a receiver like that. And yeah, Dez Bryant makes those highlight catches, but Demaryius Thomas, he is no slouch in the ring when it comes to that. He's tough, he's physical, he has sneaky speed. When you get behind the defense, all of a sudden you see the back of his jersey, you're not able to catch it to that guy. In that division where big physical receivers seem to be the norm, and now the New York Giants, Odell Beckham Jr., you're going to need a star on your football team that can compete with that. If I'm taking Dez Bryant away from the Cowboys, I'm bringing Demaryius
You're a
Thomas
good
to that
agent.
team.
I appreciate it. Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
here about the people.
Right.
Yeah.
I think New York Jets.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
New York's
And
a tough.
they need help.
It's a tough place to play, but when it's good, it's good. He's got his good friend Eric Decker.
Yeah.
He's the other wide receiver. It looks like Percy Harvin is going to maybe test free agency. So if he goes somewhere else, there's an open spot. Dynamic duo with the two of them in New York. We got Geno Smith at QB. I'm a little lukewarm on that.
Yeah.
Lukewarm.
I
Fine.
need to be way
Fine.
lukewarm on that. No one's lukewarm.
That's my
Cold
optimistic.
on that.
Maybe they get somebody in the
DeMarco.
draft.
Yeah.
Right.
So then all of a sudden you have a renaissance in New York. Be a part of that is awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
Geno Smith was the only quarterback last year with a perfect passer rating in the game.
You know what?
The
You're wrong.
only one. Seriously, no.
Really?
I'm not making that up.
Okay,
only
but-
quarterback last year. No,
Exactly.
No, against the Dolphins last year in the final game of the regular season.
okay. You're not
He's the
saying
only
that.
quarterback to
Okay.
have a perfect passer rating in the game. Was Geno Smith of the Jets.
Well,
I'm not lying. Look that up.
Beyond lukewarm on him. I don't know if Demaryius likes you now because I
I sent him to the Jets.
You sent him to the
Yeah,
Jets.
I'm a Jets fan. I'm okay with that.
Jets fans. All right, so let's take a look, guys. So we had him in. Wait, what jersey? I think he looks good in the 49ers jersey.
Me too, right?
I really do.
He does too.
What do you guys think? Be honest. I know you're going to go with your picks, but
He
He
looks
looks-
good.
I'm-
He looks good in red right there.
Yeah,
he does.
right. You know,
I can see him being there.
I think green is his color for the Jets. I kind of like that myself.
Oh, God.
I'm a Jets fan. What do you want? We had enough misery.
All right, best fits. It's woulda, coulda, shoulda. We already know this. Finally, let's talk about another wideout here, Randall Cobb. Had a great season with the Packers, did he not? Packers didn't use the franchise tag on Cobb with Jordy Nelson already locked in and a big deal. Cobb could be available to sign elsewhere. Racked up 12 touchdowns and over 1,200 yards last season. Best fit, again, this is feasible. I think Danny knows where he's going.
Yeah, right. I got the inside
You
scoop.
got the inside scoop.
I have another team that has a lot of money to spend. I think the Oakland Raiders are one of them. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they're going to make a big splash. They need a big play wide receiver for a young quarterback, and Blake Bortles, who showed signs, 3rd pick overall. He's a guy they've invested a lot. Now they need to surround him with weapons like a Randall Cobb, who really, to me, is an emerging receiver, a guy who's ready to take that lead as the #1 guy.
I like that. I'm not going to take that team, but they have $67 million in cap space, and Justin Blackman may come back. Also, you got both of those guys, but the Eagles need Randall Cobb, because if you're not going to franchise Jeremy Maclin, I thought was terrific for them, you bring a guy in that offense that can do so many different things in that spread. You can run him on the jet sweep. You can get him on the outside. You can get him in the slot. He's going to create that space because he's underrated at separating and getting the ball in a position where he can make a play after the catch, or even when you're trying to defend him so closely with that kind of coverage. I think Randall Cobb is ready to take that next step to be that next great receiver in the National Football League. If you're the Eagles, you don't want Jeremy Maclin, bring in Randall Cobb.
All right.
He's going to the Cleveland Browns, and I got some
Ooh.
legitimate reasons here.
Yeah.
One, they got a lot of money. They got a gaping hole at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Also, his college coach, Joker Phillips, just got hired as the wide receivers coach with the Cleveland Browns. So I think it's a legitimate option. They give him a lot of money that he could end up there.
So you just love sending receivers
right, shit, to the
bad
worst places
ever.
You don't want them to have a social life. You get there, you work.
Wait a minute.
I'm not worried about
Cleveland's not a social life? Well, wait a
Nothing
minute.
to do in Cleveland.
That is
why he-
Oh, okay, Mrs. J.R. Smith.
I've never been. Yeah, I
Then
don't
what
like
happened to
Cleveland. Johnny? Well,
You'll find a party.
They got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, come on now.
all right, so be it. Let's see what they look like, guys.
She wasn't convinced at all.
I'm not at all. I'm not going there. Okay, so
It's good
Browns,
in Cleveland in Eagles colors.
Eagles. I think I'm gonna go with Eagles. What do you guys think?
That could be a good fit for him. I tell you what, if Chip Kelly got a hold of him, he would have.
Hey, you know what? I agree
Yeah.
with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that. That was a good call. High five on your part. Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, the experts have spoken.
Nice.
You were the best.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. All right. So listen, you heard what they feel. Like you gave us your best fits. We want to know what you at home think. Go to the Twitter hashtag NFL Best Fits. Let us know what you think, or you could see some of these players in the upcoming offseason. Again, we're just having fun, guys. We're having a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, you know who has a lot of fun?
Who?
Jordan, because he has a lot of money.
Yeah.
How much money does Jordan have, guys? You know, Kate.
Starts with a B.
$1 billion.
$1 billion! His billions we discuss after the break. We'll be right back in just a few moments, guys.
Who knew Michael Jordan was Dr. Evil?
Now, he looks...